Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Alternative Media Television. It is July 14th, 2013, and the breaking news over the past 24 hours is George Zimmerman has been acquitted of all charges. Now, of course, I published a video July 8th, 2013 with the title George Zimmerman is going to be acquitted, and hit the nail on the head. We have a jury which we've let the decision process carry out through the courts, that have acquitted George Zimmerman because they believe him to be innocent. And as I said before, this is an entirely engineered race war by President Barack Obama, has been since the very beginning. And finally, we have a little justice. The people speak, the jury speaks, and there was unreasonable doubt, as I said before in this video, released July 8th, that indicated to the jurors themselves that he was not guilty, which is exactly why George Zimmerman has been acquitted of all charges. I don't even really understand or know why this case is such a big issue outside of Obama and the mainstream media playing into the race war itself, which of course was the engineered agenda from the get-go. Because you see, all that the jury needed to know and all they needed to see was this picture here. A bloody, beat-up face of George Zimmerman, who was beaten up by Trayvon Martin, who also called George Zimmerman a white-ass cracker, according to the testimony of one of the key witnesses. You can see the page reloading here. Now, we have protests in major U.S. cities, as I cited and said that there would be, post the acquittal of George Zimmerman. There has been violent protests in an outbreak of rage and demonstrations in the city of Oakland. We have all kinds of tweets coming out now. New York Giants star says, Zimmerman doesn't last a year before the hood catches up to him. So this is definitely sparking a race war, as I said it would, July 8th, 2013, with a breaking video. It was at the time, because nobody believed me. George Zimmerman is going to be acquitted. We have about 15,000 views, roughly. So pretty amazing that more people did not see this coming. You see here from Mail Online, the system has failed. Hundreds of demonstrators voiced their disappointment and anger over not guilty verdict in George Zimmerman trial. That doesn't make any sense at all. No, the system has actually worked this time. We had an entire jury acquit George Zimmerman because he was innocent. Here we have from Breitbart.com, New York Giants wide receiver sends threatening tweet. Zimmerman doesn't last a year before the hood catches up to him. Also, we have eyewitness accounts, or actually this was a phone account where she was on the phone with Trayvon before the fight ensued, and Trayvon was on top of George Zimmerman, says that Trayvon called George a creepy-ass white cracker. Creepy-ass white cracker. So who is the racist here? George Zimmerman? Or is it Trayvon Martin calling George Zimmerman a creepy-ass white cracker? That sounds pretty racist to me. We also have key testimony from John Good, who described Trayvon Martin as attacking George Zimmerman, who is on top of George Zimmerman, according to his testimony, his eyewitness account. This is what the jury had to take in terms of evidence during the trial, which is exactly why George Zimmerman was acquitted. Here we have the video here, Zimmerman trial, Trayvon Martin, witness John Good attack, where John goes on to say that it was Trayvon Martin who was on top of George Zimmerman. So this trial was honestly pretty obvious from the very beginning. Again, all you needed to see was this picture here, the picture of the wounds on the back of George Zimmerman's head, crying help for bloody murder because Trayvon was on top of him, Trayvon calling him a white-ass cracker, and of course President Barack Obama engineering a race war in America to cover up all of his scandals. The IRS, Benghazi, the scandals continue, NSA, Snowden, it goes on and on, bank bailouts, his war crimes overseas, his launching of invasions in the Middle East in places like Libya, an engineered civil war in Syria, on and on. So the justice system finally works here. Freedom and justice prevails. George Zimmerman is innocent. But I want you to keep in mind here, this is about divide and conquer mentality. Divide and conquer. Engineer and create a race war in America. Take it from the guy that predicted a George Zimmerman acquittal here on July 8th, 2013, when nobody believed me. Said, no, he wouldn't be acquitted. It's just not going to happen, Christopher. George Zimmerman is guilty. Well, not according to the jury. Not according to the justice system. So it turns out that George Zimmerman is innocent according to the jury in our justice system, and Trayvon Martin, President Barack Obama likening Trayvon as his son, convicting George before there had even been a trial. It turns out that America and the jury, the people, think Trayvon is guilty. So justice prevails in this case. I have to congratulate the jurors for a job well done. And obviously they only had to look at a couple basic facts. A bloody, beat-up face, scars and cuts and bruises on the back of George Zimmerman's head, and then key testimony from the witnesses themselves. From Chantel, who confirms that Trayvon on the stand called George Zimmerman a creepy-ass white cracker. That is a very racist, offensive comment to somebody who wasn't even Caucasian, who happened to be Hispanic. And key eyewitness testimony from John Good, who described Trayvon Martin on top in an attacking position of George Zimmerman, who fired the fatal shot in self-defense according to the evidence and according to our justice system and according to the jurors. But keep in mind, this has all been engineered. This is the last thing President Barack Obama has at his disposal. Create a race war, create riots in America, make it about racism, take the eye off the ball, America. Don't see the criminal activity and the criminal things that your president is doing. Just focus on this guy right here. And the death of Trayvon Martin, which is a tragedy, and I'm not taking away from that tragedy at all, but it is clear that the jury, and it's been up to the jury, because this is how it works in our system, the jury believes George Zimmerman to be innocent, which is exactly, after hearing the evidence, he was acquitted. I'm Christopher Green. Please get this video out everywhere, hard-hitting and in your face. Again, July 14th, 2013. Get it out. Peace.